Do you, I mean, I mentioned Bob, like, I mean, Bob, you talk about like mainstream, there you go. Like Bob, like with Madonna and the whole celebration tour, like that's about as great. I mean, I'm biased because I think the sun, rises, revolves, and sets by Madonna and Cher. But that's like a great gig. And I mean, like, go Madonna. And what she did with all the queens, at each stop. If like Kelly, it wasn't New York and there was no Kelly Ripa, she really took the local queens in each place and brought them up on stage.
Yeah, and Madonna has always been such a huge drag fan. I mean, I think she was a producer of lip synca stuff in the early 90s. And I've met her several times in drag, and she was amazing. And at one point, Joey Arias and I were doing something on the red carpet for one of her movie premieres, and she literally broke away from the mainstream press, came over and grabbed us, and she was like, "You should be on this side of that rope." And I'm like, "I know." So she's and then the MTV Awards where I got to be the Like a Virgin Madonna. So she's always been a real big drag fan.
She has. And I feel like, I don't know if you saw the celebration tour. If not, I won't hold it against you. But it
I
really,
oh, I
we can
wouldn't go.
still be friends.
I wouldn't go. Look, Madonna is, I agree. Madonna is my gaga. I mean, like, Madonna is my number one and always will be. But I'm not going anywhere with that many people, period. Unless, she said, "Here, I've got you front row seats." You know what I mean? Otherwise, there's no way. I wouldn't go to that concert.
That's my rare exception. If Cher
I
wants to
did,
go on a world tour, let's go.
I did see Madonna's Drowned World Tour. So I did see that big one. And I would see something in Vegas. Like I would love to go to Vegas to see Lady Gaga's show there, because that's would be a bit more about the most people I could handle.
There was a lot of people, so I get it. But no, to your point, she is, and I feel like that, and now after that, she's going not really back to her roots, but she is spending a lot of time like with local Brooklyn, like her and Bob were just at, I forgot, like that, whatever that festival was in Brooklyn. And I'm like, yeah, Madonna loves New York. She loves drag. She loves that community. She really, truly loves it all. But that's also great to hear your stories where you've run into her at places where you wouldn't necessarily think she would be nice to a bunch of queens, no matter how famous or not famous. You just wouldn't expect it.
Yeah, no, I'm like I said, I met her a couple times, like three times, and she was nothing but amazing and fun every time.
I love to hear that. What do you want people to take away as they watch this variety show? What do you want people to walk away
Well,
with?
I, I mean, I sincerely feel like there's so much ugliness in the world right now, and it could be very dark. And if you watch the news all day, I just want this to be like 20 minutes of escapism. Like it doesn't mean that we don't care. It doesn't mean that I'm not aware of what's going on in the world, but this is 20 minutes. You're allowed to just be stupid and silly and laugh for 20 minutes. And that's what I hope people would walk away with, like, "Oh, that was a nice breath of fresh air," you know? And there's, like I said, it's just so chock full of so much different content that there's something for everybody.
There is something for everyone. Earlier this year, you turned 60. You had a huge blowout at Sony Hall in New York City. Like, are you the type, I'm personally not, but are you the type that then can take a lap, right? Like, just take a moment out and be like, I'm still working in this business decades later. Like, are you the type that kind of pats yourself on? Because that's a big accomplishment, right? Like, you're still working and
Yes.
busy and doing a million different things. Like, are you the type that then says, wow, like, this is just a moment to take in and here, look at this big bash and everyone's showing up for it? And
Well, I rarely pat myself on the back, very rarely. But yes, I mean, I've lied about my age forever. And I was like, you know what? I should be nothing but honored to be turning 60. Half of my friends didn't make it to 30. So I should be how lucky I am and blessed to be still working and performing and happy and healthy at 60. So that's what this year was all about.
It's true. I lie about my age still, but I mean, there is this thing called Google, so I don't know why any of us lie about our age in today's day and age, but it just
I,
somehow makes me feel better. But I agree with you that we should just be happy to be alive and healthy, right?
yeah, I mean, I didn't expect to be doing this. I didn't expect to be this busy. And certainly when Drag Race kind of peaked and was taking off, and no one was really booking us, meaning like me and Jackie and whatever, because we weren't on Drag Race. I was like, oh, maybe it's winding down. And then it was just like this, it just took off again for all of us, where we're all like, oh, amazing. So I'm like, not slowing down.
That's good. That's interesting too. So like there was this middle period where it was like the drag race girls when it was new were the ones going on the tour and like the Voss events and getting booked. And then if you weren't on Drag Race, you weren't. And then it just kind of picked up maybe just because there's more brand awareness, I guess, for queens in general.
Well,
Maybe.
I think for Jackie and I mostly because we both kind of veered off of our original path and we're doing bar and club gigs. And when the YouTube, my YouTube stuff kind of took out off and exploded with the Gaga parodies, I was booked every weekend in a different city and was just constantly on the road. And then all of a sudden Drag Race came out and I was like, oh, like they were done with me. They were only booking queens from Drag Race. And that's what inspired Jackie and I to be like, let's go push this back into our lane of doing Golden Girls and theater and trying to get something TV going. Like that was kind of the original path we were on. So that that was definitely a moment, but it was great. It's all worked out perfectly.
Maybe you could bring the Golden Girls to Out TV. You can call Jackie, you can figure out who the other two will be, and you can like, I mean, you're already in there with, this show. You can make a pitch.
Yes, well, we did it already in San Francisco and it's coming to Palm Springs in November, but we have this big show called Jurassic Drag, which is me, Jackie Varla, and Coco Peru, the four dinosaurs. And hopefully in 2025 that will go on tour.
That would be amazing. As we wrap up, like, is there a part of this business that you haven't done? I mean, now Sherry Vine Variety Show, you're doing it all. It's on Out TV. You've done so much. Like, is there something that you still want to do?
Yes. Oh my God. I have a list of things I want to do. John Mark, who's directed all three seasons of the variety show, and I are working on a documentary, and I can't say what it is because I don't want someone to snatch it. But I have never done a documentary before, so this is kind of new. And I would love to do. I mean, I was in a theater company in New York in the '90s called Theater Couture, but I would love to kind of really do something like the Three Sisters with, drag cast. So something like a classics like that.
I love it. And what advice, is my last question, would you give your younger self who's just starting out, unsure if this was going to be a long career, you were going to make it, like you said, you were just getting by to pay your rent on Avenue C. And yes, nobody went to Avenue C or B or barely even
Mm,
A.
no. I mean, I guess I would tell myself to just trust that you're on the right path, that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing.
That's
Don't
good
doubt.
advice.
Yeah.
Don't doubt yourself. I like it.
Oh,
That's, that could apply to everyone, right? Everyone out there listening.
about everything. Yes. If you really feel it in your heart, soul, then don't question it.
Don't question it. Well, I've enjoyed speaking to you. I will share your links with everyone. Everyone needs to check out your variety show. It really does have it all, and it just is great and so entertaining. And yes, it takes your mind off all the world's problems for 20 minutes a day.
We deserve that.
We definitely deserve that. So thank you for your time. I've loved
Thank you,
chatting with you,
David.
and we will speak soon.